To start things off, I want to wish everybody a slightly belated Merry Christmas. It's a good holiday season, and I hope all you guys are having fun and, hanging out with your family or doing whatever it is you do on holidays during Christmas time. I hope you guys got some snow over the Christmas holiday, or if you don't like snow, I hope you didn't. Whatever you like. Me, I try and watch Trading Places every Christmas. That's like my favorite Christmas movie, even though it's not really a Christmas movie. It kind of is. I think I've watched that, 3-4 Christmases in a row now. And we actually had snow up here. You guys are going to actually have to take my word for it, but we did get a lot of snow this Christmas, so that was great because that never happens up here. We get rain. We don't get snow usually, so that was sweet, and I had a good time. Hope you guys did too. Yesterday was, pretty much all about the NBA in terms of the sports world. It was a great day of basketball. A lot has happened since the last time I talked about the NBA. I'm not going to try and talk about all of it, but the 5 games yesterday were really good and really relevant, so let's look at those. First game was the Magic, 88, Hornets, 68. Hornets really came out flat in this one, and I was really particularly surprised. Nobody really played well. Chris Paul, nothing doing. David West, Tyson Chandler, Peja. Nobody showed up for the Hornets, and it's a road game, and I thought they would show up because they struggled against the Lakers. They really did not play well against the Lakers. I think it was 2 days ago, but they didn't show up for this one either. So, I have heard rumors, and I have some limited reason to believe that they really do not like Byron Scott down there. If you read a Bill Simmons article a couple weeks ago, I can't remember what it was called, but he was talking about how the body language, he was actually watching the Hornets game when they, he was actually in the stands during a Hornets game, I think against the Clippers, and, he was commenting on how the body language of the Hornets players, most notably Chris Paul, indicated that they did not really like Byron Scott, their head coach, and, you look at what happened to him in New Jersey, where he obviously was a very good head coach for them and did wonders for them, but that was a marriage that ended in turmoil. You wonder, is this Hornets team going to quit on Byron Scott? Is there going to be some sort of an implosion involving Byron Scott and the Hornets? So I'm concerned about that. They have not been playing up to standard this year, and it could get ugly. It could definitely get ugly. Otherwise, the Magic played well, obviously. They're a little too three-happy for my tastes. They shoot way too many threes for a team with Dwight Howard. But when they're hot, stuff is good. It works. But when they're cold, I really feel like that there are other things they could do. Get to the hoop, try and get foul shots. I think they take too many threes. And Dwight Howard, he's been iffy the last several games. He's coming back from that injury. He hasn't been dominant. In this game, he did pull down 15 rebounds, but he hasn't been putting the ball in the bucket so much lately, and I don't know what's up with that, but I hope he gets better soon, because he needs to keep on dominating. You had the Spurs and the Suns, and seems like the Suns get beat in the worst way so many times. The Suns just find a way to get emotionally crushed in a lot of these games. Here you had Roger Mason hitting a wide open 3 at the buzzer to win by 1. So, it was obviously a very good game, and it sucks for the Suns because they got a combined 50 points and like 26 rebounds out of their big men, Shaq and Stoudemire. And really, they played pretty well. I watched most of this game, and, obviously they played San Antonio more or less equally. It came down to the wire. But to lose like that hurts, especially when you leave Roger Mason open for a wide open 3, because I think he leads the league he's one of the top in the league when it comes to attempting 3-pointers. So I don't know what's up with that. I mean, this isn't as bad as what happened with Tim Duncan hitting the 3 last year, but that's kind of bad. Speaking of Tim Duncan, he has a big game. I think one of his best games of the year. Always rooting for him to play well, even though, I could give or take the Spurs, but I do like to see Tim Duncan do well. Lakers Celtics. This was a great game. The Lakers have been faltering a little bit lately until they got back on track against the Hornets, and now I think there's a legitimate reason to be concerned. Before, it was like, well, Kobe is probably not giving it his all. The other night against the Magic, he was giving it his all. He had 40 plus points, and they still lost. So, you look at the things they're doing wrong. It's Andrew Bynum has been struggling a little bit. I don't know what's up with him, but he should be putting up double-doubles more often than not, and lately he has not been pulling that down. He should be getting 10 rebounds and 10 points a game. He should be the second best shot blocker in the league after Dwight Howard, but he's not. And maybe it's Phil Jackson's decision to not play him during crunch time, whatever. I don't know what's going on there. I know that they have an issue with Radmanovic. Odom kind of wants to start. They have Luke Walton starting right now, and that's kind of got mixed results. So they need to figure out what they're going to do with each player, because I know they lost Jordan Farmar, but when he comes back and he's 100%, you wonder, is it time for Derek Fisher to hit the bench and Jordan Farmar to start? It's going to be a lot of decisions, tough decisions for the Lakers. But they did win this game, and all the credit in the world goes to them, because I thought the Celtics were going to win. And the Lakers, it was very close at the end, and then Gasol took over the game at the end. He played excellent down the stretch. He hit some tough shots. He grabbed some rebounds, hit his free throws. I watched most of this game in Boston. It was like Paul Pierce couldn't take over. Boston's a really good team when it comes to hitting three-pointers at big points during the game. And Paul Pierce had a couple of those in the third quarter when Boston was coming back, but in the fourth quarter he was nowhere to be found. Rajon Rondo wasn't scoring any points. That was another major reason why they lost. I mean, he was getting his assists and everything, but Rondo has emerged as a scorer as well this year, and he needs to consistently be that, and he was not. He was passing up shots in this game. I don't think he missed too many shots. He didn't take too many was the problem. It was a good game. It was very well played, and the Lakers just came out on top at the end. I thought it was pretty well officialed and everything else. Next game was the Washington and Cleveland game. Cavs win 93-89. I watched most of it. I missed the end, but I do know the Cavaliers came back from a big deficit at the very end. LeBron really never took over this game, which was kind of disappointing for me, because when I watch the Cavs, that's the kind of stuff I want to see, but he did have 18, 5, and 6, which, that's reasonable. That'll get the job done, and he doesn't have to dominate anymore. You got Mo Williams, who had a nice game. Delonte West knocked down some big shots. Anderson Varejao was very good off the bench. He put up a double-double, 13 and 13. Washington, they were knocking down their shots. That's really what this was all about. Washington hit their shots that they usually don't hit. It's that simple. But, excuse me. It was funny watching this game. You really saw Ben Wallace is that bad when it comes to playing on the offensive end. I mean, when you have Ben Wallace on the court, you're playing 4-on-5 on the offensive end. You pretty much do not have a fifth player out there on the offensive end when your fifth player is Ben Wallace. He might as well not even be there. And it's kind of funny watching him, because every now and then he does score a couple points, but it's really pulling teeth, and it's going to be hard to win a championship when you're playing 4-on-5 offensively. Last game was Dallas and Portland. I watched most of this game. Another good game, very competitive. Brandon Roy's really becoming the player that I thought he would be. I watched him a little bit. He played up here at my future alma mater, UW, and he was a very good player here, and he's a very good player for Portland, and I'm happy to see him do well, very, very much so. I'm not rooting for the Trailblazers. Some Sonics fans are jumping on the Trailblazers. I'm not doing that, but Brandon Roy, always awesome. He's been playing great lately. Mavericks did win this game though. Nowitzki played big. Jason Kidd didn't score, but he contributed big time. Probably the best rebounding point guard I've ever seen. And they came up big at the end. So, great day of basketball yesterday, and moving on today. My SenseSport account is actually running a little dry. I've had some bad luck lately. Today I'm doing a parlay with the Hornets -1 and the over on like 184 total points, so hopefully that works out for me. That's all I got for now, so see you guys later.